Upswing Poker Level-Up is a new show from the team of poker pros at upswingpoker.com. If you want to learn how to improve your poker skills and bolster your bottom line, this is the show for you. We're going to be covering critical topics like check raising, c-betting, and playing flush draws, as well as the occasional advanced topics like leading out on the turn and playing post-flop and 4-bet pots. Poker pro and coach Gary Blackwood will be your strategic expert throughout these episodes, and I, VP of Upswing Poker Mike Brady, will be your host. We may even have a guest expert join us from time to time to spice things up a bit. Here's a quick preview from the first episode coming next week, which is all about check raising. Now, let's move on to low frequency boards, and I don't think we need to cover these quite as much because we've covered the higher frequency boards and how to check raise on those quite a bit. But can you talk about some specific boards that you should have a relatively low check raise frequency, why you should have a relatively low check raise frequency on those boards, and then get into the specific hand selection? What types of hands would you check raise when you are doing so?
Absolutely, and they're really quite few and far between, but there are certain types of boards that we want to have little to no check raising range on whatsoever. It should feel really intuitive to us in terms of boards that are really good for our opponent. So if we defend the big blind and the flop comes down ace, king, seven with a flush draw, coupled in with the fact that our opponent uses a large c-bet here, our check raising range is really, really quite narrow. So the types of boards that we don't want to check raise very often on are the boards that are just so nutted for our opponent. There are not too many of them, but boards like ace, queen, seven, flush draw, ace, king, eight, flush draw, those types of boards coupled in with the large c-bet, those are the types of boards that we don't want to raise very often on.
Be sure to subscribe to Upswing Poker Level Up wherever you get your podcast. We're excited to help you get better at this beautiful game. Take care.